There are certain stories that capture the personality of the Kelce brothers so perfectly that fans can't help but replay them again and again. One such tale unfolded recently, and it involved Jason Kelce, a pint of beer, and none other than the royal family. It all started with a seemingly simple question. The chance had come for Jason to meet the royals, and while most people might be overwhelmed with nerves about etiquette, what to say, how to bow, which rules to follow, Jason's mind was occupied by something else entirely. The beer in his hand. The setup was innocent enough. Jason was asked, "Do you want to go meet them?" And without hesitation, he agreed. But as soon as the invitation was extended, the internal dilemma began. What should he do with the drink he was holding? As those around him later recalled, they could see the thought process play out on his face in real time. Jason paused, staring down at his beer with an expression that seemed to say, "But I want to take it with me. Yet I probably shouldn't take it with me. What's the right thing to do here?" For those watching, the moment was priceless. It was as though the entire protocol of royal etiquette boiled down, in Jason's mind, to a single decision: beer or no beer. He hesitated, torn between wanting to appear respectful and wanting to remain true to himself. The mental debate was written all over his face, and it was both hilarious and endearing. On one hand, Jason wondered if it would be disrespectful to approach royalty while holding a drink. After all, meeting kings, queens, or princes typically calls for formality. On the other hand, the thought of abandoning his beer felt almost wrong. It was, after all, a natural extension of who he was. He later admitted that the situation played out exactly as observers had guessed. His inner monologue went something like this: "If I don't have my beer, what do I do with my hand? Do I bow? Am I going to look awkward? Wouldn't it be more authentic to just walk up with the beer in hand? After all, being myself is usually the right choice. Maybe they'd even appreciate it." The comedy of the moment was that Jason wasn't alone in noticing this conflict. Others were watching him closely, practically reading his thoughts as they unfolded. They could see the gears turning in his head, the tug-of-war between tradition and authenticity. And it was hilarious. What made it so fantastic wasn't just the humor of the situation, but how authentically Jason it was. Here was a man who has built his reputation on being down-to-earth, approachable, and unpretentious. He's the kind of guy who values sincerity over ceremony, laughter over stiff formality. And in that instant, even when facing one of the most formal situations imaginable, an encounter with the royal family, he was still the same person at heart, a man wondering what to do with his beer. The best part? Jason didn't try to hide his thought process. Instead, he later admitted openly that those were exactly the questions running through his mind. "That was exactly what I was thinking," he confessed when someone pointed out how obvious his internal debate had been. "If I don't have my beer, what do I do with this hand? Is it disrespectful to bring it? Or am I just being authentic if I carry it with me, since that's what I'd normally do?" Hearing him explain it only made the story better. It wasn't just a fleeting observation. It was a genuine reflection of how Jason approached the situation. And in a way, that authenticity is what makes him so relatable. Plenty of people, when faced with a moment of high pressure, obsess over tiny details. What to wear, how to stand, what to say. For Jason, it just happened to be the beer in his hand. In the retelling, the moment becomes less about royal protocol and more about character. It's a small but memorable glimpse into Jason Kelce's personality, his humor, his honesty, and his refusal to take himself too seriously. Whether he ultimately brought the beer or not is almost beside the point. What matters is that he was fully himself, even in a situation where many would have overthought everything. For fans, the story has become another reminder of why the Kelce brothers resonate so strongly. They aren't polished or overly concerned with appearances. They're athletes who have embraced their larger-than-life personalities, and they let their quirks shine through, even on the biggest stages. Jason meeting the royal family wasn't just a meeting, it was a comedy sketch, a slice of life that perfectly illustrates why audiences adore him. And at the heart of it all was that single hilarious question: what do I do with my beer? It's a question only Jason Kelce could turn into a story worth retelling. And it's one fans won't soon forget.